Welcome everybody to Tourism Nova Scotia's 8th webinar in our webinar series. My name is Nick Fry and I'm the Manager of Business Development. So happy that you could join us today. We are in unprecedented times during COVID-19 and we're all working remotely, so glad you're able to join us today. COVID-19 and the related travel restrictions have had significant impact on tourism businesses, and we know that. This weekly webinar series offers practical information to help steer your business through the crisis and also welcome customers when the time is right. And for many of you, that will be tomorrow, June 5th. So this webinar is scheduled for an hour. It may go over an hour, and that's fine. We'll share out the details after the webinar, and we'll also share a link to watch the video. So if you can stick around for the hour, that's great. If it goes a little bit over and you have another call, we completely understand, but just understand that we will send that out after. For those of you that are joining us that aren't familiar with Tourism Nova Scotia, we are the provincial marketing organization for the province of Nova Scotia. We market Nova Scotia as a vacation destination and lead initiatives to help grow the tourism industry. If you have a question throughout the presentation or webinar, feel free to put it in at the bottom. We welcome conversations, we welcome chat. We're going to answer questions to do with the topic today, but if you have any questions that are kind of outside the scope, please just send us an email at the end or make sure that you ask away. We'll make sure you get the answers. We'll send a link to any relevant information we chat about. We'll share a webinar SurveyMonkey to make sure that we ask you some questions around if it was effective or not. We'll send you the recording of the webinar as well. So today we have Michelle Sears from Digital Nova Scotia. She's our digital marketing advisor for Tourism Nova Scotia. Michelle's a member of the marketing team and oversees the official trip planning website, novascotia.com. Michelle led the recent refresh of novascotia.com, which is important and big job. Michelle works directly with tourism operators to optimize their presence on novascotia.com and help them connect with potential visitors. You know, I know all of our marketing, we direct people to our website, so it's really important to have the most up-to-date information there with beautiful pictures. Michelle's been with Tourism Nova Scotia for over 10 years. She has a wealth of information. We're really excited that she's here today to chat with us. We're going to cover creating and optimizing your business listing on novascotia.com, using stories, itineraries, and town city pages to promote your community, plugging into Tourism Nova Scotia's social media as well, and advertising opportunities. So without further ado, we'd like to welcome Michelle here. We're lucky that she was able to make time for us. She's very busy, but has so much information and can't wait to hear what she has to say today. So Michelle, if you want to join us on the webinar, we'd be more than interested in to see what you have to say. Oh, we got to unmute yourself.
There, I double clicked it.
Perfect.
There we go. Oh, it's giving me the options here.
So Michelle, you just gotta, just share your screen.
There we go.
There we go.
And share. There, it didn't give me the option right away.
Perfect.
So everybody can see me now and see presentation. Okay, here we go. Excellent. Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here to talk a little bit about novascotia.com and the opportunities that we have to work together. So let's jump right in. So some of what Nick has mentioned is on my agenda. So briefly, he's already kind of given a rundown of what we do. So I'm going to jump right into the listings. So we've got our tourism business listings on the website. And then we also have our festival and events, packages, and experience listings. Then we'll move into how we can work together to boost community profile throughout the website and talking about some of the newer areas on our new website. Then we'll jump into opportunities, talking a bit about advertising, as well as tapping into the photo and video asset library that we have. And then we'll finish off with social media with some information that our social media teammate, Cynthia Bragg, has shared with us. So Nick kind of gave us a rundown. So as the destination marketing organization, we promote Nova Scotia as a vacation destination. So We do focus on experiences that that our research tells us motivates people to book a trip. And we use several channels to market directly to those consumers. So for instance, the Doers and Dreamers Guide. So these are actually the covers of the 2020 travel guides that are going out throughout our target markets, and as well be mailed out right here in Nova Scotia as well. We also use social media, consumer advertising, our lovely staff at our visitor information centers across the province, as well as my personal favorite, novascotia.com. So with novascotia.com, so we work directly with tourism business operators, with organizations and communities across the province to showcase the variety of things to do and places to stay while people are here on vacation. One of our biggest goals with the website is we really want to inspire travel, to inspire visitors coming here with what there is to see and do to help them book that trip. And one of our ultimate goals, which always sounds a little funny, is we want people coming into our website, clicking through, getting that information that they want and they need. And ultimately, we want to see them exiting our website. So for anybody that uses Google Analytics, you know what I'm talking about. We want them to exit through a link on our website that is bringing them to your website, because that tells us they're looking for more information. They're looking to find out more, or they're looking to actually book. They want to put a credit card down and they want to book that stay. They want to book that tour. So we want to see that going through our website. And let's not go the wrong way. So for those of you that are familiar with novascotia.com, you probably noticed a little bit earlier this year, early February, we actually launched a brand new website, which is completely mobile friendly. And along with it having a cleaner look, bigger photos, and a lot of links, some of the newer features include an interactive mapping tool. So you can go into this map, very, very similar to a Google map. You can actually use dates, start and end time of when you're going to be here, as well as category filters to really tailor what your search and what you're looking for. In addition, we've also added itineraries, which I'm going to actually talk a little bit about, as well as stories on our website. So some of you may be wondering how we do, where this has been quite an unprecedented year. I decided to look at our analytics to share with you from 2019 in comparison to 2018. It's already hard enough to compare a brand new website against an older site because very different content. It just doesn't, that year of transition is always kind of hard anyways with comparisons, but this year has been a different year, as we all know. So in 2019, we saw a slight dip in entrances onto novascotia.com. So we've always been hovering in the last number of years between 3.5 and 4 million visits to the website, or entrances to the website. However, the good news story here is the average time spent per session is about the 2-minute mark, which is up 9%. The bounce rate on our website is very low at just about 15%, which is down 23% from the previous year. And the exit rate is at 38%. So over a third of our visitors are leaving our website, clicking through to links, most likely in listings, because that's where the most links are taking them off the website are, and that's up 8%. So while our visitation may have dropped a little bit, it's actually showing that we have more qualified visitors coming onto the website. They're finding information, they're staying longer, and they're clicking off of our site to learn more. So let's talk listings. So this is, I did a screenshot of the places to stay page. So you can see the different types of accommodations, but then we're going to get into, for those of you who may be a little bit more active on the website, you know about Partner Portal. So we'll talk about the different listings that everybody can participate in. So business listings. So across the website, we're listing places to stay. So those are those accommodations and the campgrounds. We have our attractions listings. So everything from gardens and lighthouses to those UNESCO sites. I did make a mention of kid-friendly, which is something that research has shown us people were really interested in. The kid-friendly page is kind of a growing, moving, living page where we're actually using it to not only use for attractions, but it's outdoor activities and tours. So it's something that we're actually still tailoring and working with, much like the rest of the website. Everything is a moving beast. A website is never, ever finished. You have to keep working on it. Our eat and drink, so our call out to local, our award-winning wineries, distilleries, breweries, right up to food and drink tours. So we list operators from around the province in these categories. As well, then we move into our outdoor activities and tours, which on the previous website were separated, but there's a lot of crossover. So for instance, we'll list parks and trails, but if somebody's coming here and they'd like to go kayaking, well, they can rent, they could go with a kayaking tour operator, or perhaps they don't want a tour operator, they can just go with their campground, so they can find equipment rentals through the equipment rentals listings. So there's lots of opportunity here for businesses across the board that are open to renting or are available to travelers. I did want to mention briefly, just with our listings, the Tourist Accommodations Registry. So for fixed roof accommodations wishing to appear on novascotia.com, whether you're there now or looking to be added as an accommodation, you must now register with the Tourist Accommodations Registry. I've provided a link here, and I think it will go out in the email after the presentation as well. And you must also provide monthly accommodation occupancy reports to our research team. And this helps us, excuse me, with seeing where travelers are. There's more information at that link. Campgrounds must also provide the monthly accommodation occupancy reports in order to be listed on the website as well.
Hey, Michelle, we just had a quick question here. I think it's important, so I hate to jump in on you. I'll let you get a drink of water. Somebody asked what a bounce rate was.
Oh, bounce rate. Oh, what it was. Sorry. I'm going to go back to it.
I didn't see it as it came through, so I just thought it was just before we get too far away from it.
Oh, yes. Sorry. So bounce rate, when you go to a website and you're like, oh, not the information I want, and you bounce out. So bounce rate meaning that people are not leaving the website. They're finding the information. One of the biggest advantages of bounce rate, where you see it low, it kind of tells us that our website can be a bit more, or not a bit more, it's search engine optimized. So we're working to ensure that information is there, but we also want to make sure that the correct wording is there. So the way people would search, that people can actually land within the website. One of the examples I often use, say you're, we actually had an operator earlier this year who did a search for themselves on our website, and they were a tour operator. They couldn't find themselves. Well, Stephanie and I looked at their listing and realized that the keyword for their type of tour was missing, not only from their business name, which we don't always say in our business name what all we offer, because it's a little bit hard to do that, but there was nothing in their description. There was no word for the type of tour they were. So if it was kayak or whale or whatever, those keywords weren't there. So no one was able to find them in a search on our website unless they knew their exact name, or Google, because Google is always crawling. Bing is always crawling. They crawl these websites. And if you don't have the, even just the simplest of words in there, it can really affect how you're found. So going back to bounce rate is that people are searching and being able to find what they're looking for on our website. They're not just bouncing in going, nope, don't like it, and bouncing back out. So back there. Okay, so our new and improved listing layout. So I asked permission from Gasbro Vineyards to use their listing, because they've done some upgrades where they've got new photography. They've added some an updated description, their information as well. They actually have a few packages still available on the listing. So let's kind of tear this apart a little bit. I just wanted to break it down and show you the different working pieces in a listing. So if you have a business listing on our website, these are all free opportunities, and most of them are mandatory, as you can well imagine. So as Nick had said, I've been with tourism for 10 years. When I first started at tourism, the website we were launching had photos that were 2 inches by 2 inches in size. So you can imagine how happy I am to see a large photo viewer. So you can have, there's going to be a minimum of 1 photo, but you can have up to 10. And below the big photo, you see 3 small ones. It's a carousel, so you can flip through them. To the right of that is their contact information. So the business name is prominent. It says the area they're in, the type of listing. So in this case, it's an eat and drink listing because it's a winery. There's a website button. Also worth mentioning, if you have an opportunity for booking online, securely online, we can actually have that book now button there. So it gives another link for people to click through to close the sale at your end. But contact information, your location, your dates that you operate, your contacts, including social media, hours of operation, and you might notice that TripAdvisor is there. We now made it mandatory that you link to at least one peer review site, because we do find that a lot of people, when they're leaving or when they're in the research mode, they want to see what other people are saying about the things that they're thinking of doing. I hope that just made sense. People are always looking to hear about reviews of the things that they plan to do to ensure that they've got that level of comfort before they book it. And then over underneath the photos is the business description. So in here, again, talking about those, specific words, if you're a tour operator, what is the person, a potential customer, going to experience on a tour with you? Thinking about accommodations, what are they going to experience when they stay with you? Not only talking about your business, but talking about your area, your community, your region. There's a lot of opportunity to increase a person's length of stay in your area if you give them more reasons to stay. As well, it's also good for search engine optimization. And below that are links to your experiences, packages, or event listings. So if you have any that you've entered through Partner Portal, which we'll get to in a few slides, they will appear here until they expire. So if a package expires today, it will come off our website at about 11:59 tonight, I believe. And then at that point, we're always asking people, go back in if you know it's going to be offered again next year. Now's a great time to go in and update those dates, but we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. So I've already touched on a few things on this list, but the mandatory info, the basic mandatory things on listings. So the minimum of one horizontal photo. I've used it for years, but the analogy I say is, a picture really is worth 1,000 words, especially when in most years we're dealing with potential travelers coming to our website where English may not be any of their languages, let alone a first or second. It's really important for them to get a comfort level. They want to be able to see where they're going to stay or what the tour looks like, the area they're going to be in. So it does help having that contact information, address, phone, and especially email, again, dealing with travelers who may not even be in the same time zone or a close time zone. And again, language barriers, an email makes it a lot easier for them to contact you. Open and close dates and times, that well-written description of the services provided by your business. I did want to do a little shout out to the webinar that was held 2 or 3 weeks ago on why search engine optimization is more important than ever. If you didn't get a chance to sit in on that one, highly recommend you do, because he had some great, easy things that are important to do anytime, but right now being a great time where we're starting to reopen. We also want to have that link, at least one link to your ratings on a peer review site. As you've probably seen, if you've gone through the website, TripAdvisor is the one that's showing up right now. So we will be looking at ways, once we get more coming in, to be able to pull in Expedia, Google Business Reviews, or and Yelp, or any others. So we're open to what means the most to our different businesses on the website. Along with that, I did put in the note that accommodations and campgrounds must also include their rates, the number of rooms, cottages, their sites for campgrounds, as well as the available amenities. So how do you apply for a business listing? So if anybody's joining us today that's looking for information on getting their business listed, these are free business listings. I've added links here to the criteria for each of the different types, as well as the application forms. So you can take a look through. If you have any questions, or if you just want to fill out the form and send it in, Stephanie Wadden is our go-to on our team and can answer your questions. I'm also available as well for any questions you might have. So you've heard me mention Partner Portal. So this is where festival and events, your packages, and your experiences get added for the website. So you go to partners.novascotia.com, you create yourself your own login, And then it brings you into a page. So you either decide if you're doing a festival event or a package and experience. You enter the required information, and then it gets submitted to us for approval, where an administrator will go through if we have questions. Again, we're looking for the search engine optimization. We want to make sure there's enough information for somebody. These events, for events especially, which I guess is my next slide, events, should be open to the traveling public. Anybody should be able to to come in and participate. It shouldn't be something that's, membership driven or what have you. People should be able to come in and enjoy. The categories that appear on the website, from don't miss to outdoors and sports, you can be in more than one category. One of the big things we wanted to mention is that if your event has been canceled this year or postponed, and you do have a listing on our website, or perhaps you didn't think to put one up because it's been a kind of a busy year, now's the time to do it. Put it in or update what you have, especially if you know it's being moved to next year. If you have dates for 2021 already, highly recommend that you come now, update your listing, and let us know so that we can let others know. For example, the Royal Nova Scotia International Tattoo, they were one of the first big events that canceled for 2020. And within a few days, they had contacted us with their 2021 dates. We made the changes. You can see in their description, it says that they're now running June 26th to July 3rd, 2021 at the Scotiabank Centre. So, even though it's over a year away, that means they're on our website for over a year. So anybody that might be in the same boat thinking, maybe this isn't the year I'm going to go to Nova Scotia, let's put it off till next year, they can start their travel planning now. And they can start to see the things that are being planned for next year. So it gives them reasons to travel, things to do while they're coming. So it's really important. The longer you can appear on the website, the better, the more opportunity there is for you to be found. So packages. So travel package is basically, it's the coming together of different elements, at least 2 purchasable items under one price point. So the example I gave here was 2-night stay and a guided kayaking tour for one set price. We also do allow travel deals as well. So it's also entered under packages, and those would be, say, for example, stay 2 nights at our accommodation and you'll save a certain percentage off the 3rd consecutive night. So those can be entered as packages. And here's an example of one from Parks Canada. They actually have a smudging package that's taking place in Scotia this summer. I know it's a little bit blurry because it was such a big picture to put in. However, I do recommend going to the website and searching some of the things out that you've seen here today. The smudging one thing that Parks Canada has been really, really great with, they've updated their listings, their packages, events, experiences. They've actually put in a bit of a update at the top that talks about, they're following the advice of the Public Health Authority. They're kind of giving that comfort level of, we are responding, we are ensuring that your safety is top of mind for us. So they've updated all that information across the board, which has been really, really good to see. And this is what we're hoping to hear from more of our partners. Also, when I showed you the business listing for Gaspro Vineyards, I mentioned that at the bottom, it would show any applicable packages, experiences, or festival events. You can see the opposite now on their package listing. So it says partners. So often packages can have more, packages or experiences could have more than one partner. In this case, Cape Breton Highlands National Park has both their outdoor and their attraction listings connected. So if you were to come in and on one of those 2 listings, you would actually see this package linked at the bottom of that listing. And we've got experiences. So experiences are a little bit different. They start out as packages, but they're a bit more, they're pretty awesome. But I guess there's no other way to really put it. They're experiential in the way that they're connecting, travelers to Nova Scotia with our culture, our people, our places, and our flavors with hands-on activities. I'm sure many people here have heard of the dining on the ocean floor. That was one of the first experiences our tourism development team helped or were part of creating. There's been many more since then, but they're amazing. It's just an opportunity to learn and experience something that you wouldn't normally experience. So if you are already offering something that you think might be a fit, or you have a great idea, by all means, contact our tourism development team. on our end, with Stephanie and I, when packages come through Partner Portal that we feel have a bit of an edge to them, we often do refer packages and different businesses onto our tourism development team, just so they can have that conversation to see if there's a way that they can work together to really build out an incredible experience that can be offered. And so here's an example of one that's was just being launched this year, Ginstitute by the Sea. So you're coming in, you're going into the Northumberland Shore area to Steinhardt Distillery, where you are creating your own gin with a distiller. So it's a full day. There's a cocktail, there's a private guided tour, you're learning. It's available on certain dates. It's very set. It's very exclusive. And so that does appeal to our free-spirited market. So again, if you get a chance, when you go to our website, look at those unique experiences, look at the packages, you'll see some differences. But if you have questions at any time, come and talk to our team. So I know we've kind of talked a little about it. I wanted to throw in a little bit on the updates. So for any of you that have listings, business listings on novascotia.com right now, you may have received an email earlier this week from us that was talking about the COVID-19 updates. We're reaching out to all of our operators to find out, now that we're getting prepared to reopen, it's a good time to update those listings as well as your own business website. Right now, if people are planning to travel, we're getting more emails every day through social media and through our website of people saying, I want to come to Nova Scotia. Am I allowed to? So people are wanting to travel. So it's a good time to update the listings on our website with if your dates of open and close have changed, like let's make sure that people can find that out. Maybe you've decided to stay closed for the year, or you're changing the way you operate. Let's get that information in there. We can put it in there as information specific to this year. But people also want to know, I mean, how are they going to be guaranteed that there's safety measures in place? So anything COVID-19 related to update on our website, please send it through to Nova Scotia at novascotia.ca. We're actually working right now on updating listings across the website to ensure that we're putting forth information that's going to be important for those travelers as they decide to come. So let's move into how we can work together to boost community profile across the website. So this is not new. We actually had community pages on our last website. However, they're a little bit more prominent now, I find. So we have 7 travel regions on the website, and each region has incredible communities. There's cultures. We're a very vibrant place, and this gives us a great opportunity to talk about not only the cities and towns, but even the communities and regions within each of these travel regions. One of the big things with it, I mean, as much as we all, love where we're from or where we live, these pages really do need to be relevant to visitors, and they need to include a sufficient amount of information of what to see, what to do, where to eat, where to stay, in order to make a really good page that will be helpful to those travelers. If you're interested in having your town or community, or maybe you want to come together with a few communities, let's chat and let's see what we can do. So as an example, this is one of our most recently developed pages, was actually with the municipality of Clare and Bay St. Marie down on the Acadian shores. So we have, in this case, these templates are not set. You may not have a video to put in, but we want to call out those don't miss activities in an area, and we can do up to 5. In this case, we've worked with the Clare region, and there was a video developed a few years ago, or in the last couple of years, so we've added that. And then we always try and end the page with top places to stay and their traveler ranked. It's those top rated accommodations. They have to be listed on our website as well so that we can pull them in, but the top rated places to stay in a region based on TripAdvisor. So we do try and add as much information. There's more opportunities. Could be a photo gallery of really cool places to take pictures. And actually there's a few more ideas coming up that I'm going to share with you too, which is bringing into our next one, itineraries. So Itineraries is new on this website. We used to have a section called road trips, but Itineraries are a little bit different. They're giving up that information on what to see and do. It could be in an area, it could be multiple regions, and they could be themed. One of the things right now when you go to our Itineraries section, you're going to notice, well, actually, you may not notice, but the ones that are currently on our website were really tailored more to our core markets. So US, Northeastern US, Ontario, Quebec, UK, Germany, and our Explore Quotient segments. So this gives us a perfect opportunity to start creating ones that appeal more to our regional and local market, because people are going out and they want to travel. And how can we pick up those hidden gems that people are able to go to that maybe we know that are in our own backyard that other people, say in Yarmouth or Sydney, may not know about? So right now on the website, if you go into Itineraries, they range from 48 hours, to 10 days. And I wanted to give you a screenshot of one of our 10-day ones, which, talking about niche or very tailored, the ultimate Nova Scotian food trip. So it's not just about food. Obviously food is a big part of any road trip, but this one talks about where to get certain foods, where to eat, but it also talks about what to see and do in that area, because you're not just going someplace to eat, you want to experience an area. So day one, Halifax talks about places to eat, but then it also mentions go to Pier 21. And then it brings us to stories. So stories is basically, it's a blog section, but it tells the multiple stories of this place. It is a living, breathing section. We've got so many blogs in there, or blog articles in there already, but we're adding more. It's a really neat area. These are all searchable through our website as well as through search engines, as is the whole website. But these are often, they can be a little bit more tailored. They can be shorter than an itinerary. They can be more niche. So one of the most recent ones that was added was the Coastal Wellness Escapes, which you can see on the top of the page. So it's literally wellness retreats on the coast. So that's pretty tailored, pretty niche. But the one that I pulled out here, so it's not only us writing them, we do welcome writers to work with us. And each year we're hosting, we have travel media coming in, influencers, and they're often writing articles, and they'll give them to us to share. So now we're able to use their content, which can by linking out to them, allows their audiences to find us. But so this was an example of Goats on the Road, a couple that was here, I believe it was last summer. And this was their top things not to miss in Nova Scotia, the top 10 things, I should say. So this is, again, somebody who's not from here, who has traveled here, doing the things that somebody else that's not from here is thinking about doing. So it becomes that impartial view of what there is to see and do. So these can be mutually beneficial for them having it on our site, as well as people being able to find it on our site. Plus, it's great content. So we welcome anybody that's interested in potentially writing, or you have great ideas. And this is also another great way to promote a community or a region. So you've heard me talk about different opportunities. Let's look at paid ones. So we're looking at advertising. As you've gone through the website, you may have noticed through the business listings, you'll see featured. And those are a paid advertising opportunity, and they do come with limited spaces. However, I did check with Megan Giffen on our team, and Megan said there are still some spots available. Normally these run January 1st until December 31st. But if you're interested in potentially having a featured listing, you've already got a listing on the website, reach out to Megan. And she can tell you if there's still spots available, and we can offer them at a prorated price. And there should be some more advertising opportunities coming out over the summer and fall. Please make sure, I know you've heard it a lot, but make sure to be signed up to receive our In Touch newsletter. Then we've got our photo and video assets. So for anybody that may already have listings on the website, you might have already been using our Barberstock digital assets gallery. You may have also noticed that Barberstock has just changed its name. The URL is still Barberstock, but their name is now Simple View. And this is open to Nova Scotia tourism operators to take advantage of the extensive library of high quality visual materials to help promote your business and region. And you can register to access the photos and videos by visiting this link and putting in a request. It's going to come into Sunny. If you have any questions about the approved uses, because it's very, it's for your website, it's for promotion of tourism, you couldn't go and put one of our photos on a t-shirt and sell it. So if you have any questions, you can actually see there's information on the Barberstock page, but you can also contact Sunny Bray on our team to find out a bit more. So are there...
Michelle, we had a question. Is it free to access the photos?
Yes. That's an important one, yes.
Well, I guess a good follow-up would be, is it free to list your business on novascotia.com as well?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
The only paid portion would be if you decide to do the featured advertising or the featured listing. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So let's jump into social media. I know this is top of mind for a lot of people. So where you'll find us, so our consumer sites, you'll find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. I've added the links here so you can go in and make sure you're following us. And Cynthia pulled together these slides to answer some of the top questions that she gets a lot. So what works in social content? Right off the bat, easy peasy for any of us that are on social media. High quality images, video, and travel articles that for us specifically, are speaking to a tourism audience by providing helpful information about what to see, what to eat, what to experience in Nova Scotia. So going back to that article, the stories article you just saw from Goats on the Road, fits into this. We could share that out. And again, it's people hearing about, what somebody else has experienced. We also need that content to be exciting and interesting so that people will want to engage with them and share. So one of the many examples that we have, this is a recent one, Lenweg Photography. We posted his visual tour on our Facebook. I'm not sure if you can see the photo, but over 92,000 people were reached. There were over 15,000 engagements, over 2,000 likes, loves, and wows, almost 400 comments, and thousands of shares. So you could say this did pretty well. Who doesn't want to stand at the end of the skyline with a sky like that and take in this view? It's places where people can picture themselves being, that appeals to people. So you can see why photos like this do so well, or posts like this, I should say. So some of the tips that Cynthia often gives to people who ask, what resonates best? How can we get shared? Photos with bright colors. How many of us run outside when we see a beautiful sunset to try and catch that picture, or sunrise? So you can see here, those are a couple of the photos. Definitely important to be clear and in focus. If you're like me, I'm forever touching the lens on my phone. I have to remember to clean it off before I take a good picture, because sometimes it turns out blurry and you don't want to miss out. Unique angles and interesting composition. I guess a perfect example would be the Mahone Bay, the top photo there on the top left, obviously taken with a drone, but what a cool angle. And people are going to see that going, wow, I've never thought of it in that way. And photos that are authentic to Nova Scotia. We may all know about Peggy's Cove. People love pictures of Peggy's Cove. Lighthouses in general, great beaches, surfing. In this case, we see the skyline of Halifax, probably from the ferry or the Dartmouth waterfront, Balancing Rock. People just love things, especially people who are engaging with us that may not live in Nova Scotia anymore. And, we'll see a lot of, oh, I wish I were home. I miss it so much. Those do really, really well. So I've got Cynthia's, any questions you might have, Cynthia's contact is there. Now, she's also given us one of her big questions we'll get asked a lot is, how can I be a featured post? So if you're sharing imagery or video on social and you want to get it or have a good chance of getting it shared by us, make sure you're using the hashtag Visit Nova Scotia in those posts and using @Visit Nova Scotia in your Insta stories and tweets for a chance to be featured. So in this, you see we follow our hashtag hashtag Visit Nova Scotia on Instagram, and you see there's a bunch of pictures because those are pictures that are coming in. We have the fortunate or unfortunate, I'm not sure which it is. It's a great problem to have. We have so much content being shared with us that it does make it hard for Cynthia to see everything coming in, but it's a great problem to have because there's so much content and great content. So in this case, you see there's two of the same lighthouse photo. So somebody's already shared the photo that somebody else has already shared. It's such a great photo. You can see in the visual to the right, she actually shared it out. She gave recognition to the photographer that took the shot, and when she reshared it. So it's a way to get things seen by us is by using those hashtags, because we already have so much coming in. It's really important to make sure that hashtag is in everyone, not adding it later, add it when you're sharing the post. And because we can't always share everything we get, there is another way, though, that we can potentially use your photos to help show how amazing Nova Scotia is. By adding that hashtag Visit Nova Scotia on your shared photos and videos, we actually use a Canadian platform called CrowdRiff, and most destination marketing organizations are using it. And what it does is it allows us to pull in those amazing user-generated photos and videos, and we can pull them into galleries on our website. You can see this throughout our website. This is actually, this shot here is from our main page of novascotia.com, and it can change daily because photos are coming in. We have a team that goes in and checks them out and pulls them into specific galleries. So it could be, in the case of the whales, it could be a whale watching gallery. We could pull in more photos. Of course, this time of year, we're not getting too many of those, but come the season, we might get more. Great beaches, sunsets, anything that can really show Nova Scotia, because we can't be everywhere, but people with a great eye are taking those photos and sharing them with us. These photos are not owned by us. They continue to be owned by the person who has shared it. It does, although, allow us to find out about new photographers, where people are. We also learn about new places that we may not have even known of. So it's a really cool tool, and another way that we can feature your imagery. So to kind of wrap this up, some takeaways from today. If you have a listing on the website, please make sure it's updated for 2020, whether you plan to open or not. If you are closing up for good, please let us know. Hopefully that's not the case. If you decide that you're not going to open this year at all, but let us know that. We'll keep you on the website, but we'll reflect that you are not operating this year. We just want to make sure that it's easier for those who are traveling to know who's open and who isn't, or who might be operating a little bit differently this year. If you qualify for a listing and are interested in getting listed on the website, please connect with our team and let's start that process. If you see any opportunity to promote your community, let's chat. Let's make that happen. And by all means, use our hashtag Visit Nova Scotia when you're sharing your great photos and videos. Again, another way to promote your community or your area. And it gives us more content. It helps us learn about more areas of the province too, but it also could send some love your way if we get to feature you. And last but not least, make sure you're signed up for our In Touch newsletter, because we send so much information out to our industry. Some of it's very timely. There's quick turnaround, but we want to make sure that no one's missing out on great opportunities. And with that, if there are any questions.
That was a great job, Michelle. Really, there's a lot of great resources on novascotia.com, and we have, when you have great resources, people have great questions. So it's a few questions for you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
So somebody said, what about virtual experiences that are about Nova Scotia, for example, history? Do we promote these?
It's a little bit newer to us, and I know some of our partners have been doing virtual experiences. So I think one of the big ones that everybody's been seeing, where somebody did a virtual tour of the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia, like the Maud Lewis. So some operators, they've actually been doing that over the last few months. Us ourselves, I don't know if we've so much. Oh, Cynthia.
Hi, I should start my video so you can actually see me. We did promote the Maud Lewis Museum. I feel like just judging by the performance of our the posts on our channels, people seem to really like the images more. So it didn't get a lot of engagement or impressions. That's not to say that we wouldn't promote more of them, but that's really why we kind of go the route of promoting images.
So would they be able to, but let's just say that there was a museum or an attraction and they had a virtual offering, then would they not be able to link that somehow to their novascotia.com profile?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We could definitely link it. We'd probably, it would have to be a link at this point. I don't know if there's a way that we could build it in to show it, open up. Generally though, most people would want the traffic going to their website, but yeah, that's absolutely something. If operators were to come to us and had virtual tours of their property and wanted to have it on their listing, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, we have a few other questions. Let's see. Is it free to access the photos once registered? We already answered that. So yes, it is free, and we will share out the link after in a follow-up email to let you know how to do that. Here's a question. How can we sign up for the newsletter?
Yes, that is going to our corporate website, tourismns.ca. And I believe it's on the main page. If not, it's in news, I think at the top. Afton, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and you'll see In Touch blog, and there's a sign up right in there. Plus, you'll be able to see all the articles that have gone out recently and historically, anything that we've been doing.
Okay, that's great. So we had another question about the operator portal. So, one of the questions was what happened to the operator portal. So I'm going to provide a bit of an answer, and then you can add anything else you like. But we're continuing to explore the development of an online tool for operators to update their business listings. For now, please continue to email your updates to novascotia@novascotia.ca or contact Stephanie Wadden. That covers it?
Pretty much, yeah. It's still coming. Yes, we're just trying to make sure that it's the right tool. We did test one, and stay tuned. There will be more information coming, and we're just as excited as you are to have a new tool like this.
Perfect. Another question is, does there appear to be a preferred peer review site to link, i.e. TripAdvisor is still preferred or moving towards others? The answer, I'm just going to again provide an answer, and then you can piggyback if you'd like. We recommend providing a TripAdvisor listing as it is the top peer review site, and visitors to novascotia.com have the ability to sort business listings by TripAdvisor ratings. So having a TripAdvisor link can give you more visibility on our website.
Correct. However, I'll let you know too that the Google business listings actually surpassed TripAdvisor by late last year for reviews and for people using them. So having your Google business listing is very important. We actually do work with Google Canada on some of our initiatives around the website and our marketing and advertising. And we've actually reached out to them to ask, how can we link and show those Google business listings through the ratings, because ratings and reviews on them, there's some fantastic ones. And they're actually still going to come back to us on that because it's something new for them. The business listings have only been around for a few years, and now they're looking at ways that people can actually start pulling them into their website. But for now, TripAdvisor is definitely key because it's also a way that you can revert search. So how you can do, I want to see things alphabetical, or maybe I want to see, you can change it as filters. TripAdvisor is actually a filter on our website that you can search by.
Perfect. We have, somebody asked how many people were on the call. There are about 69 people on the call, which is great.
Awesome.
Also, when you signed up for the webinar, many indicated that they wanted to be signed up for In Touch as well there, so we can sign them up that way. Let me see. I'm just scrolling through here, make sure we captured everything. Q&A. How do I post my accommodations on Nova Scotia social media stream? And just, Michelle, really quick, if you've already answered these questions, but some people, of course, maybe missed it, just briefly, just recap quickly, and then we'll also and they'll be able to link out to whatever questions they have. So question here is, how do I post my accommodations on Nova Scotia social media stream?
We're more interested in getting you listed on the website. If there's something really unique going on, like Cynthia had said, I mean, not everything does well. And if we were just to push out your accommodation, you know, then we'd have everybody doing it. Our social media is a little bit more tailored. We're not always, it's about, you know, engaging people. Your listing would do much better if you're on the website and have it up to date. Then it probably wouldn't do you any good to have it shared out through our channels.
Okay. But maybe if they had a really great picture of their accommodation or something like that, they could hashtag.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. We can always do that. Like if you're sharing it and you're hashtagging us and it's, you know, it's not just showing a really, well, it could be a room. Who knows what it could be, but if it's something that's really interesting and we feel it will do well with our markets, then yeah, it's absolutely something we can share.
Great. We had a panelist says that they're launching a new adventure company, Nova Camp, environmentally sustainable camping gear rental company based in Halifax. It's launching on Monday. The webinar has helped them immensely and cannot wait to move forward and operating and hopefully being featured on Tourism Nova Scotia. So I'd say that's really great feedback. And, you know, if you follow some of the steps in this webinar, you'll definitely be able to maximize your profile on novascotia.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, we had another question, and it was, is there anyone specific to connect with to access Nova Scotia tourism research? This would be useful to gather specific data to use for government funding applications, market research, etc. So we have a section on our website where you can connect with our research, and we'll share that link out in the follow-up email. If there's any questions, as a follow-up after you receive that, we're more than happy to help you out with that. So we'll share out the link to our research. Another question, do you have any insights on if tourism from out of province will be allowed this summer? I'll just take this question. Of course, we don't have a crystal ball, but we know they've been trying to push for an Atlantic Canada, Atlantic travel bubble. But until anything's announced, the current restrictions are in place. Somebody said they have a very small home business. Can I register to access the photos and articles and use them on my social media posts? I like to promote the province. Well, thank you for that. What's your answer to that question, Michelle?
I would say connect with Sunny and just talk to her a little bit more, because she's more, there are rules around who can use it, who can't, and the uses of it. So I would touch base with Sunny for sure. Yeah.
And if you're, I guess if you're a tourism business and you're not selling it for profit, most likely you're able to do so, but just ask Sunny. We'll send out the link later. This question, is there a category for privately produced travel guides? We are in our 20th year producing a motorcycle tour guide in Nova Scotia, and now included in Atlantic Canada. Does this disqualify us from the website?
No, actually. It was one thing we used to have a page on our previous site. Part of the reason it's not there right now is because we didn't have any updated guides for this year, believe it or not. I think this year's all around been kind of a different year. But yes, we can absolutely bring in links to travel guides. We actually do have a few on the website already. I think it's in the Bay of Fundy region, and we will be getting more of our regional guides. So yeah, by all means, send me an email and let's chat about that.
Perfect. Somebody thanked you for your update on Google reviews. They said they get way more Google reviews than TripAdvisor, which is great. And that's why we expanded the peer review to accept, more than just TripAdvisor. So that's wonderful to hear. That's from Adam Zita. Somebody, Jeff Babineau would like to know, will we be eventually able to use video on our partner portal listings?
I want to say yes. There are going to be some changes coming there. So yes, I think video is very important, and yes, stay tuned.
Perfect. There are places on the website for restaurants and farmers markets to share. However, has Tourism Nova Scotia considered sharing locally made Nova Scotia food products locally made that tourists could purchase to try while they're here or take home with them?
Yes, we actually have a section. It's called Specialty Food Shops. One thing with it is that it can't be like a stall in a farmer's market. It actually has to be a business that's open a certain set amount of time and days through, the busy season, which this year's a little bit different. But it's in the criteria, and we work, like, you think of, off the top of my head, Sweet Spot Chocolate Shop, a local chocolatier, has an open business. So yes, we can. And you can actually on novascotia.com go and check out the specialty food shops and just see some of the collection of different retail outlets we have throughout the province. And by all means, send me an email and let's chat.
Perfect. This question from Amy Beaton: are Airbnbs eligible for business listings?
Yes, as long as they register with the Tourist Accommodation Registry, which I believe everybody has to now. So as long as you're registered, you're coming to us with that. They give you a registry number as soon as you register, and you have a TripAdvisor or another peer review, and you're willing to give us, that contact information. Obviously, you're going to want to put photos up, and we can connect the link to your Airbnb listing through a book now button that, again, is going to drive traffic to your listing for you to close the sale. So yes, absolutely. Welcome aboard.
Perfect. Let me see if there's any more questions coming through. That's a great question. We actually encourage Airbnbs to list on the site. There's many beautiful properties, and we really need to increase the quality and quantity of accommodations in the province. So we would encourage anyone that's able to list to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just see. History and genealogy are important to many guests. Doesn't seem to be a great deal of focus on these areas on our website. Are they having trouble finding them, or is it not on our radar? This is the question.
Yeah, we actually used to have, you may have remembered it from a number of years ago, the Roots to Your Roots section that used to be there. It didn't get as much attraction. People do, absolutely, we know people are coming here to look up their ancestry. We can see it in many of the sites around the province. However, people seem to find those sites, they're not coming to our site so much to find genealogy. They know they can go to archives. They often know where to go. And it didn't seem like a lot of them are coming here. Now, with that saying, we do have information on our founding cultures. It's under the About Us on novascotia.com. And there is room for improvement there as well to include those. Like maybe we have a section, maybe we need to have a section around that where we can provide links of where they can go to find out more detailed information. By all means, send me an email and let's have that chat.
Oh, thanks, Michelle. That's great. So we had a question around, will VICs open this year? And I'll just provide an update there. Tourism Nova Scotia has year-round VICs in Amherst and at the Halifax International Airport. VICs are currently closed, but we will share updates about the opening, about all dates around VICs through InTouch when we have more information. So they're currently closed, and we will share our updates through InTouch. So again, we encourage you to sign up to InTouch. And as soon as we have updated information, we will share that with you. So I'm just trying to see, I think, are there Tourism Nova Scotia Doers and Dreamers guides and Nova Scotia maps available as digital copies to email to resources for customers?
Yes, you can download the travel guide from novascotia.com. I don't believe we have the map though as a PDF, but you can use our mapping tool on novascotia.com, or you can actually, if you decided you wanted to have it mailed, you can mail them here and now within the province.
If there's any more questions for Michelle, just put them in the Q&A. Someone asked if we could share a link to this webinar after it's sent out with other business providers who didn't attend the webinar.
Oh, yeah.
I believe you can share. We're going to be posting it on our website tomorrow. So yes, you can share as well. And we encourage you to share this with anyone that isn't able to be here today that you think would find value in it. And that will go later today or tomorrow. We had a guest say, thank you, excellent webinar, Michelle, so good job. We have received lots of positive feedback, so that's great. There's so much relevant data that you shared today on how businesses can tangibly impact their online presence in a positive way with minimal cost, and just really excellent. So if there's any questions, we are still here. When we turn off the camera, we're still here by email. Give us a call. We're always here to help. So I'm just going to take back the screen, Michelle.
Okay.
That's okay with you.
Yep.
And dun, dun, dun. 1 second. So thank you so much again to Michelle for sharing all that knowledge today. I think that really cleared up a few questions people may have on how to get on novascotia.com, some of the benefits, some of the way to tie into your business through Visit Nova Scotia, many of the different options. I wanted to let you know that next week we're going to have Ingrid Dion back from WordCraft for the second part of her building connection with your customers through social media, part 2. So if you'd like to watch part 1, then we would encourage you to go back to our website and check it out. Again, the links will be shared after the fact. Ingrid's going to talk about social media and how it's one of the best ways to connect with people who are already interested in your business, but it's also vital for reaching people who haven't even heard of your business yet. So that's really important. Whether you're just getting started or already have social media accounts for your tourism business, this will help you get to your next level with your customers. So really excited that Ingrid's coming back for the second one. The first one was very well received. We had lots of great feedback, and Ingrid shared the information in a really consumable way, so it was very helpful. What she's going to cover specifically next week is how to engage with your followers, making sense of insights, and boosting and targeting posts. So thank you again for coming today. Hopefully we see you next week. Michelle covered a lot of this. She stole some of my thunder on some of our contacts, but that's great. We want to reiterate that if you'd like to contact us, it's tnsbusiness@novascotia.ca. We'd really like to encourage you to sign up for our newsletter, In Touch. Follow us on Twitter @Tourism Nova Scotia. Follow us on LinkedIn. Visit our website, tourismns.ca, to look at our programs, to find out a little more about us. And our COVID-19 resource section is really robust. It has a lot of great questions and answers. The FAQ is strong, so we can definitely help with some of the questions or concerns you may have. And that's tourismns.ca/coronavirus. So thank you again for joining us. I hope you learned something today. Looking forward to seeing you next week. If you found something valuable, please, take the next steps to make some changes, share it with some friends, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.